Right, Manager Steve King for this week's live interview. Firstly, Steve, how are the boys, and how you been?
Yeah, fine. Obviously, we haven't trained. Obviously, played Tuesday. Out there tonight, freezing cold, very, very icy. So yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, we'll go back to Tuesday then. We won 1-0 against Tunbridge Angels. I mean, in a dominant display from us, where we could have scored 10, 10 realistic chances. To be honest, give us your thoughts on that one.
I thought we were very, very good. I've got to be honest. It's probably the best we've played for a long, long time. Without the icing on the cake, is what I'd say. Foundations were good. We dominated the game. Camped in their half. They were dogged, determined. Come with a shape. Come with a game plan. Knew obviously we got quality to unlock teams, and you can only hold good players off for so long. I think they did that in the first half. We still had 4 chances in the first half. Nazim had a volley and we hit the post, and Noor Hussein had one. So we still, and Dicko's header as well, we still had chances in the first half. But then second half, I thought we found little pockets of spaces, little holes, and they didn't know whether to stick or twist. They kept dropping deeper. They didn't come and get on into us. And it opened it up, and we created so many chances. And I think if we'd have scored 3 or 4, people would have said, "Oh, what an unbelievable performance!" But I heard sort of little rumbles from different people and things getting translated back to me that people are unhappy, which I find quite astonishing, really, from what the boys are doing, how we played. Like I said, they were exceptional. I thought they were that good. And when you look back at the chances and I always do after the event and look back at the videos today. You could see all the chances that we had, all of the chances, and like I say, we very limited them to very little. But every team's going to get an opportunity. They nearly got an opportunity right at the end when Ben struck the ball and it hit their own player. So you could have been looking at something different, but it wouldn't have been deserved.
Yeah, I certainly think that on Tuesday we look back to how we were at the start of certainly last season as well. Surely, and the midfield of Jacob, Noor and Jebby were quite outstanding as well, and Nazim, and the goal showed, didn't it? It was a real touch of class.
It was dominant all over.
Yeah.
Bonner and Connor, excellent. Craig King, excellent. Didn't have nothing to do, which is concentration enough. Everybody played their part, and there was some fantastic moves in the game. Disappointed that the fans can't see that, and sometimes when you watch it on the live stream, you don't see that because the stream follows the ball. They don't see the movement, they don't see the pass beforehand, they don't see the space. We changed the system, and on the night I thought like I said, if we'd have scored more, there would have been no complaints.
Yeah, and I think had fans been in there, they would have walked away from that and gone, how have we not scored more?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of an Achilles heel at the moment. We're not scoring goals as freely as I'd like. Find the ball at times, but for me, if you can keep creating chances, you're going to get on the end of them, and sooner or later we will score a number of goals. But I just check and look what they're doing. We don't get ahead of ourselves. We've had a very, very good start, and the boys deserve to be where they are.
Yeah, do you think that plays a part, Steve, that obviously with the fans not in here, that when teams do come to Prince's Park, that it's almost, there is no home advantage?
Oh, there's definitely no home advantage, home or away anywhere in this division, in my opinion. There was a time when a few fans were back into other clubs, but we were one of the ones that didn't have anyone in. And I'm sure 1,500 people, probably where we are positioned in the league, you've probably been pushing 1,700, 1,800. Which would make a huge difference. We've got players in our team that will play to fans, individuals. So I'm sure they would have helped us immensely. It is what it is. It is for the same for everybody, but it is definitely an even playing field.
Yeah, you said earlier that obviously the boys are out there at the moment being put through their paces by assistant Craig. How is the squad looking?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, everyone's raring to play. Couple of games coming up. We've obviously Saturday, Tuesday for the next 2 weeks, and it's important that we try and accumulate as many points as we can.
Any squad update? Any ins or outs?
Um, no, we just signed a forward today. I feel it's one department that was needed. I've signed Femi from Stevenage. He used to be here as a youngster, and then went away to a couple of other non-league clubs and done ever so well last year. Actually scored against us last year when I was here for Billericay. Scored for Billericay against us, and I thought it was a handful in the game. He's gone away, gone to Stevenage, played, I think started 7 games this year in League Two, so is that of that calibre. And for me, what was important for it when I was looking for that forward was to know he knows his way around this division. He may have played higher, but he knows his way around this division, and that's important. He knows what the difference is in the levels, and it's a tough league, our league, and I wanted to sign someone that understood our division. So I think it'd be a big signing for us, a good signing. We've signed him on loan till the end of the season, so it's just not like a 5-minute, 1 month loan. It's till May the 31st. So I hope he'll come in and do the business for us.
Yeah, and he will go straight into the squad to face Braintree on Saturday. We do travel to Essex. Our first game of 3 in a week, because obviously we've got Braintree, then Billericay on Tuesday, then Chippenham on the Saturday. Games are coming thick and fast, aren't they, Steve?
Yeah, it's good. We want that. We don't want breaks. We want to try and accumulate points as we can, which is important. Other teams are not playing, etc., etc. And if we can just keep ticking over the games, then it will put a backlog of a lot of teams under pressure with 3, 4, 5 games in a period of time turnaround. So that's important. But the important thing is when we do play, we need to accumulate points. If we don't, we just give other teams a march on us with extra games, etc. So for me, we've got to take each game as it comes, and Braintree may be where they are in a division, but everybody raises their side, their game against Dartford. They just do. We are one of the scalps in this division. We are sitting where we are in a division, and everybody wants to beat you. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Let's start with Braintree. What sort of test is it going to be travelling to them?
Well, they got capabilities. It's as simple as that. And they were 2-0 up against Chelmsford on Saturday, and then threw it away 4-2. So every team, I watch these teams, and you think, okay, you get to know about the sides and how they play and what players they play, but they'll never play that way when they play you. Them players will find another 10, 15, 20% from somewhere when they play you, which means it's constant pressure for the boys going into each game that the opposition, what you've watched, would be a different opposition. Same personnel, but different, they give you more. So every game when you're where you are, you're there to be shot at. So it's top v bottom, but we've seen it over the years, bottom can beat top. It happens. So unless we produce what we've been producing, then we may come unstuck.
Yeah, we've had some questions from the fans. Let's start off with the first question. It was to do with refereeing decisions. They are always controversial, whatever level. What sort of relationship do you have with the referees? And if there is a controversial decision, how do you go about relaying that to the referees association?
Well, I got to know the head of the referees in the conference, and what he likes to do is if there's any decisions, and I know a number of managers in our division do because I speak to them. They find any decisions that they don't like, or didn't agree with, or have looked back on the video and said how did that happen? You send it to them, and they have a look through it, and you can always judge it after because obviously it's there in black and white. So I always do that when I feel, I think there's been about 8 penalties that we should have had this year that I've sent those in, and 7 of them he agreed with that should have been penalties, i.e. one on Saturday as well against Ebbsfleet. Nazim's first one, it was a Stonewall penalty, and he totally agreed with me. So they're big mistakes, they're big errors. There's no misunderstanding of the game. There's no one in the way of to make that decision where you can't see round bodies and things like that. It's literally 10, 15 yards away, and you've got to make the correct decision. And for me, they're poor decisions. So if I can help in any way by giving information across, videos, so that when they have their meetings once a month or whatever they do, they can show clips and could I have been in a better place, could I have done this better, could I have understood that better. If we can help, any little help, is good to help. So we don't know the outcomes of those meetings. We don't know if what happens, from some really terrible decisions. But you can only hope that something's done about it, because some of the decisions, and I speak to a lot of managers obviously, and they do feel that the officiating in this division at the moment is not up to the levels. That's a lot of managers saying that. That's whether they're top or bottom of the division. I very rarely speak out about them in my interviews, as you've seen over the years, but so over the times I've been here, but I just feel sometimes they do need to be looked at, and like I said, the one on Saturday, for me there was 2 penalties in there, but the first one was 100% a penalty, and how we never got that, it could have changed the course of the game. And that's what I say, and they're big decisions, because you score there, it changes the approach of the opposition, and they change the way they play.
Is that frustrating though, Steve, when you have them come back to you and they say, out of the 8 that you've sent me, you should have had 7? Is it frustrating on your point of view that, well, why am I being told this by one set of referees, but then the referee on the day just not giving them?
Yeah, it is, but in hindsight, you can see the replays.
Yeah.
They have to make the decisions there and then. I understand when bodies are in the way. I understand all that sort of stuff, and it's hard for them. It's a hard job. I would never do it. A million years, never do it. But when they're big decisions and they're quite easy, as in there's no distance between, you can see it in front of you, and you don't make that decision, they're the frustrating ones. They are the frustrating ones. So,
yeah. Let's go back to the squad then. There's been a question about Ricky Modest. How is Ricky doing?
He's okay. He's just finishing with the physio at the moment. He'll join into training soon. I don't see him in the squad any time for a couple of weeks, if I'm honest. He was out for a while. We had a hairline fracture of the kneecap, so we had to make sure he comes back when it's safe to do so. So he's working with a physio at the moment.
Yeah, we'll go back to Braintree after having such a dominant performance on Tuesday night. What are you hoping and expecting to see from the boys on Saturday?
Just do what they've been doing for most of the season. We've only come unstuck 2 or 3 times. They've had a tremendous start to the season, and I keep telling them that. But it's only a start, isn't it? It's a good start. I'd rather be where we are than where some other teams are. So we can't go to Braintree thinking, it's 3 points straight away, because that's when you come unstuck. Be professional, do your jobs, do what's told of you, do what's asked of you, and hopefully we can come away with the right result.
Yeah, because obviously, like we said earlier, it's 3 games in such a short amount of time, but you would almost rather have the potential points on the board than the games in hand, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they've got targets. The boys have got targets. I know what they are, and they're where they are. The targets are being met at the moment, so long may it continue.
And a talented squad to match as well that you've put together.
Good boys. So good group. Good group for the level. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Steve, and all the best on Saturday.
Cheers. Thank you.